Hi Flosstube, it's Karen, recovering monogamous stitcher. I'm back with video number 15. This is Friday, March 17, 2023. Happy St. Patrick's Day to those of you who celebrate. I hope you have a great time. I'm so happy to welcome new people who've stopped by to see my channel. I'm happy to have you here. And my faithful subscribers, I'm so happy that you're back. I appreciate you so much, and all of the wonderful comments. I just so much appreciate that. I have the feeling of a growing community, an online stitching family, and that was really my goal, because I felt that my cross-stitching was a very solitary pursuit and I didn't have contact with people. So I'm so happy for the Flosstube community and those of you who stopped by. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I have a ton of things to show this week. I had 2 great weeks of stitching. I had only one day I did not stitch, and it was for a very happy reason. Our son came down from Michigan to visit with us here in Florida for a week, and we had a great visit. We had a great time. He got out of the winter weather and had opportunity to do some really good walking. And one day we had, well, Mr. Enabler and I had a meeting in the morning. And all 3 of us went to a baseball game in the afternoon, Detroit Tigers spring training. They played Boston. Detroit won 2-6. That's the first time game we've been in attendance that they've won. So we were very happy about that. And then in the evening we had another meeting. So I had 0 stitching that day, but it was a wonderful day and I was so grateful for it. So I will not pout and moan about having a day of missing stitching. It was great. Okay, I have piles of things here. I have past finishes to show because my spring things are out, and I know I have not shown those to you yet, so I have those to show. I have seasonal and smalls that are kind of in the lineup that I've been thinking about. They've been in my stash for a while, and I'm going to be looking at those again and showing you. I have some freebies, and any freebie I show you, I will list in the notes below so that you can find it yourself. In fact, I checked this morning every single one of them to make sure they were still available online, and there were a couple I could not find, so I pulled those out, and I won't show those to you. I don't want to be a tease. So, and I have whips, and I have haul, and all the good things. So let's get started. Past finishes. The first one I'm going to show you is Hip Hop, by Kathy Haberman and Priscilla Blaine. And I showed you this easel setup. This came from Hobby Lobby, and my setup of the frame, and I put the piece on magnets and then I switch it out. So this frame stands in this. So anyway, here's my Easter, and I found that little bunny ribbon. I think I found it at Michael's actually. And I have the Just Another Button Company pins set, and the pins are just holding the bow into the mat board. And so that's Hip Hop, Kathy Haberman, stitched on 14 count charcoal Aida and the called for Classic Colorworks threads. And I finished that in 2020. Oops, and that's going to fall on the floor. And then the small that went with that is also Hip Hop, although once you see Chip Chop, you can't unsee it. Anyway, it makes me laugh when I like it anyway. This is stuffed entirely with fiberfill, not with walnut shells. Again, I stitched it with the called for Classic Colorworks. The gassed chalk was the white. I found this Easter colored plaid. I'm sure it was Hobby Lobby, and finished it as a pillow, and I put the year charm on the back. And I see my charms have kind of tarnished a little bit. Helen D puts clear nail polish on her charms, which is a really good idea. Then they won't tarnish. I need to polish those up and do that. So that's Hip Hop, the small pillow. Again, Kathy Haberman. And I finished it in 2020, and I told you that. Okay. Okay, I have my little book. This was the first book I did keeping track of my cross-stitch projects. I started in 2019. It was just a blank little journal I got Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something for $1, and I just started keeping track of all my projects. So I filled this entire book, and these from 2020 are back in this book. And the next one, let's see, Quaker Pumpkin. I know I saw this one. Spring Tulips, nope. Spring Hare, okay, that's this one. Spring Hare, Cecilia Turner. You've all seen this because it's been done so many times. It was published in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher in the 2020 spring issue, and it has since been released with the 3 other companion patterns that she had. They were seasonal. You've seen the cardinal and the fish and the owl. They've been released in general. You can buy them at your LNS, but this I got out of the magazine and finished it as a flat fold using Vanna Pfeiffer's The Twisted Stitcher, using her tutorial. I like that sweet little thing. And again, I use that bunny ribbon as my, I don't know what you call that, my stand-up or something. Okay. And then I have, I know it's in this book. Let's see if I can find it without licking my finger. Okay. This one is called Chocolate Bunny by Teresa Kogut. It was in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine in spring of 2020. And her model was stitched with a white bunny, and since it was called Chocolate Bunny, I made my bunny chocolate and finished it on a mat board, mounted it on a mat board, and I put it on an easel. So I didn't even finish the back, it just stands on an easel like that on the counter. Teresa Kogut. That was stitched on 28 count even weave ivory, and I used all DMC floss. And again, these are going to take a tumble, I'm sure. And this next one, Teresa Kogut, may be in one of my books, maybe in the next book. And then when I finished that book up, I started buying these books from Fat Quarter Shop to keep track of my cross-stitch projects. Bunny and Bee. Teresa Kogut, Bunny and Bee. So sweet. It finishes about 3 3/4 inches by 2 1/4 inches, and I just found this little frame. I stitched it on 32 count sweet pea linen, and I used all DMC floss, and it really was a quick stitch, and it's such a sweet little thing. I really like that one. Bunny and Bee. That was finished in 2021. Okay, and then I have Brenda Gervais Jelly Bean, and I don't have the booklet to show you. Jelly Bean Jubilee. Okay, they are in this one, 38 and 39. Okay, they're all separate. I listed them all separately, so I don't know which one is which. So I have them all tucked, displayed in a bowl. They're kind of all tipped over right now, but they were fun little stitches. I don't remember what they're called individually. This little chick, so sweet. Again, they were finished in 2021. That's kind of a shadowy. Looks like my face is lit, but this is dark. There's another little one. Chick wearing bunny ears, pulling a little wagon. Whoops. Here's 2 chicks. Now, I'm not as good as she is with using this floss to make like a ribbon or a pull or something. I don't know. She's got a talent with it. Maybe I just don't have the right kind of wax. And I finish with various little ribbons. This is gingham ribbon, white wick rack. And I found this kind of colorful, generic kind of fabric at Hobby Lobby and used that on the backs. It has nice Easter colors in it. Okay, hop, hop, hippity hop, hop. Again, finished with a pink ribbon and pink rickrack and the same fabric on the back. These are all stuffed with fiber fill also, not with lizard litter. I got them stuffed pretty full, so they feel pretty good to me. Easter, another little blue ribbon, white rickrack. Jelly beans. Pink rickrack, same fabric on the back. Did I put a year charm? I did this. Oh yeah, I got a year charm in the corner. Again, tarnished. And there's a little bunny with a paintbrush. Okay, that's Brenda Gervais. Jelly Bean Jubilee. I did all of the pillows that were in the book. I'll arrange these later because they need some fussing around to make them stand up. Okay. Those are past finishes. That's all the past finishes I have to show. Now, I have some seasonal items that I'm considering, and you know, what will I pick up for a seasonal small, and I have some freebies. I'm going to start with the freebies. And again, I'm putting these in the notes below, and I've covered the charts, you can't see. This one is from Lindy Stitches, and it's called Peter's Day Out. It's available free on her website. So cute. You can change the colors around any way you want with this. It's just very adorable. I've not stitched it yet, but it's on my wish for seasonal and smalls. Let's see, where will I put this? Okay, this one I've seen all over internet and I mean Instagram and on Flosstube also. This is from Whilst Iris Naps. I think this was 2021. Those two patterns, the one with the carrots and one with the bunnies, and I've seen them done in all kinds of combinations. Some people have put, you know, carrots with the bunnies, or a bunny in the middle of two carrots, or anyway, and all different color combinations. It's just great fun to see how different people finish them. Very cute. And again, I checked this morning, it's still available on her website free. What does she call it? Spring Freebies, that's what it's called. Spring Freebies. And I have one from Hands-On Design, and it's in French, Floraison or something, but it's for the spring. And again, I checked today, and it is still available as a freebie on her website. I've not stitched it yet, but I love Kathy Haberman designs, and it does look springy to me. I like it very much. I have another from Fox and Rabbit Designs. It's called Promise of Spring. Let me see before you can see. I can't see what you're seeing when I put it in front of my face. Promise of Spring, Fox and Rabbit. Again, I just checked this morning, and that is available also. So those are some that I might do as smalls. Smalls for the season. And I have some others that I've had in my stash for a while and have not started yet for whatever reason, and they're under consideration also. You've seen this one a lot. Easter Parade from Blackbird Designs. Nisi Lynn had it behind her head in her display at Easter, you know, for her spring display. Who else did I just see recently showed this? Easter Parade. Can't remember. But it is Easter Parade, Blackbird Designs. I know it's still available. It's not out of print. Oh, these are gonna fall. Okay. Another Kathy Haberman. More chocolate bunnies. Life needs more chocolate bunnies. That has her nice finish. She has it on a clipboard, or she's put a clip and attached it on a board, and then it's inside a frame. Very cute. I love the sentiment. Kathy Haberman, Hands-On Designs. Now these are not free, of course. These are available in the market, so go to your LNS. This I got from Lindy Stitches, and she was clearing things out, so I'm not sure if she has any of these anymore, or if they will be reprinted, but there were a series of 4, I think, that had to do with weather, and this one is specifically spring. 3 snows on a robin's tail, spring, what? Then spring. 3 snows on a robin's tail, then spring. That's definitely a spring. Another one I want to do. Another Hands-On Design, Humble Honey. Bee's Knees. Very cute. I like the way it's finished with that gingham on point. And I have, or gingham, maybe it's, what do we call that? Something weave. Can't remember. Blank brain. Anyway, I like that finish. I would finish it like that too. This one's Brenda Gervais, and it came out just last year. The Rabbit and the Rose. You know, you've seen it a lot. Many people have gotten that finished. I haven't finished it. I did get the Whisper thread, so when I do it, I will do the fuzzy bunny tail. Sorry, that lighting isn't very good. Okay, now I have some more. I have 2 that are Lizzie Kate. They're the only Lizzie Kate patterns that I have ever purchased. And I've wanted to do them every year. Spring, or Easter comes around and I think, oh, I don't have those done. And I'm always doing something else. So they're 2 and they're a pair. This was Clara O'Hare. And it's finished as a stand-up. And if you've looked at Vanna Pfeiffer's tutorials on stand-ups, one of these 2 she used in her video. I don't remember which of the one. But this is Clara O'Hare. And the pattern came with the finishing accessories. Little hat and basket with carrots. And you can see what they've attached there. The little gardening tool, basket with carrots, and the hat. So that comes with the pattern. And then Henry O'Hare, the gentleman. And again, the pattern comes with the accessories, a watch and a rake and I don't know what else, chain for the watch or something. Anyway, now these are available on 123 Stitch if they're out of stock. 123 Stitch carries all of Lizzie Kate now. So I've had them, haven't done them yet. I would love to do them and do a stand-up finish if I could pull it off. Okay, another one, definitely a spring, is another Hands-On Design by Kathy Haberman. Carrots and Cottontail Farms. I think this got put aside when I had gone through the Mason Jar series of Kathy and Priscilla Blaine, and I was really tired of stitching on black, so I put this aside. I didn't start it. I have it, it's all kitted up, entirely kitted up, but I didn't start it. I might dive into it again at this point. I'm not sick of black. It's been a long time since I've done black, so I might get this attempted. Again, sweet design. Kathy Haberman, Hands-On Design. So I have lots of choices for spring and seasonal smalls. So let's see, what else have you done in the last 2 weeks, Karen? Well, I did a lot. I touched almost all of my rotation. I think the only one I didn't touch in the last 2 weeks was the red sampler. And all of them need more days. My time with them has been truncated. So let's start with Jane Hopkins. And I apologize for my last video, all of my whining about my miscounting and my errors in stitching and having to frog it out. But it's amazing how your attitude can turn around when you get that all fixed. I feel really good. Okay, Jane Hopkins, 1875. Gorgeous, gorgeous from Hands Across the Sea. And let's see, let me get to the right book here. I am in, oh no, that's my new book. I have started my 4th book. So some of mine are in my book number 3 and some are in the, I've started book number 4. Those are 2 it's in this one. No, it is at the end of this one. And if I take a minute to look in the table of contents, I wouldn't have to keep you guessing. And I forgot to bring my board. So let me try this. Okay. When last we were together, I was whining about the way that leaf did not come out right. So I did some frogging, I got it taken out, got it straightened out. I started stitching here and went back this way. I believe I actually found the mistake, and I think I'm on the right track the whole way. Got some more of the berries done at the side, and I'm working my way up the bowl. It's time to jump in and do some of those big leaves that are hanging down, but I haven't done that yet. I kind of wanted to get that bowl finished. It's nice and symmetrical, and it's coming out well, so I'd like to do that. So this is Jane Hopkins, 1875. And again, I'm participating in that HATS, H-A-T-S, first week of the month SAL, and because that aligns very nicely with my stitching plans, it doesn't take me off track, so I'm doing that. But I didn't have an entire week to give to it. I had to cut it short, so I owe Miss Jane a little time. Let me take a look at my book of days and see how that actually worked out. I worked on her 6 days, so she gets another day. No, I did not. It's 5 days. That's right, because yeah, okay. I worked on Jane Hopkins for 5 days, so I owe her another 2 days. And then the next day, I was feeling kind of very nostalgic about missing my friends in Michigan, and there was a birthday coming up, and I thought, oh, I need to do a little gift. So I went online and ordered from Heartstring Samplery, I Wish You Lived Next Door. And it was PDF download, so I got it right away. And I stitched it right away, got it done in 2 days. And now I have to finish it. Let me see if I can, let me hold it up like this. I was pretty much with the colors, except where it is pink, the lighter of the pink, the thread called for was an orange. And maybe it was because I was using DMC. I didn't like the orange with the maroon at all. So I chose a pink that I felt went with the maroon and worked with it that way. So that's I Wish You Lived Next Door. And my plan is to finish it as a flat fold. And Hobby Lobby, I found fabric that I think pulls out the color of the words. And I hope it's not too far off. To me, it looked like it was good, and this light is terrible. So I'm going to finish it as a flat fold using Vanna's tutorial, the Twisted Stitcher. And I have enough to make a project bag, a vinyl front project bag, and I want to make a thread bed, and I want to send this off to a special friend. It will not be in time for her birthday if I do all of that stuff. So, but it's the thought that counts, right? Okay. Put it there, stay there, don't fall. Oh, wait. I have my basket with me here, my whip basket. I don't think I've shown this. It's Home Goods. And it holds all my, oops, my project bags fit in it very nicely and stand up in it. I have one that I keep my whips rotation in, and I have one that I keep my kitted samplers in, and I have one that's kitted all other things. So those baskets work very nicely for me. I can move them around. If I change my stitchy spot at home and move to a different chair, I can easily take it with me. Okay, so I jumped off track a bit, although I'm calling that a small, not really off track from my plan. And that was a finish, so it's a start and a finish. That was a happy day. And I had a new start. Another circumstance came up. Husband is on the HOA board, and a group of them had to watch a webinar, and they came to our house to watch the webinar. Well, I didn't want to listen to the webinar. I went out on the lanai, and I wanted something I could stitch. Of course, I didn't have my magnifier or light out there, so I had one in my stash that had been on my wish list for a couple years, and last summer we were going on a trip, and I thought, I'm going to buy that off my wish list because it's a 14 count Aida. I can stitch it without a light or magnifier, and I can do it on the plane. I can do it when we're, you know, at our location, and I won't need my magnifier. Well, I bought it, and it came, yeah, it's a 14 count Aida, but it has 32 colors of threads, and the symbols on the chart, each color has a symbol for a full cross, and many of them have a different symbol for a half cross, because that's kind of what makes the design. So let me show you the picture here. It's a dimensions kit, which normally I don't do, but I really like this, thinking especially, to me that looks like Florida. It's called Mason Jar Lineup. And the way those jars look translucent is that the colors fade by going from full crosses to half crosses, and then all the different colors and shading. It's really beautiful, but it's going to be quite something. So it's not an airplane stitch trip. Trip. I can't use it on an airplane trip. But now that I had a day or an afternoon, I had an afternoon starting it. I will take this when I'm back in Kentucky, and Kentucky's KY Central KY Stitchers, sorry, get back together, and then I'll have a stitching that I can do. I had marked off my center with thread and then pulled it out as I needed to, but that's how much I got. I just started outlining one jar. I haven't done any half stitches yet. So there's a lot to do on this one, but it's going to be beautiful. I just really will love seeing it hang here. I don't know, I can't really show you. Okay, well, what I will show you is the pattern. Oh, that's my working copy. Let me show you how big the pattern is. Forevermore. Okay. I'm not showing you the chart side. Here's the back side. Can I open it? This is half of the chart on the other side. And there's another one that's the other half of the chart. I mean, it's big. You're finagling with a lot of paper and a lot of space here when you're doing it. I'm sure the result will be worth it. But anyway, it's just not an easy traveling, especially not an airplane traveling kind of project. So, okay, so all that said, I had another start. So that kind of got me off my plan a little bit, I guess. But if I didn't have my light, I couldn't do anything else. Okay, then I went to Red Deer Sampler. And this is by GigiR. And I am stitching it on, where's my book? Here's my book. There's my book. Red Deer. I'm stitching on 36 count gray linen, Weeks Dye Works. And again, I did not bring my board. It's gonna be wide. I don't know why I didn't go to 40 count, but anyway, I didn't. So I've added to the border. I've just turned the corner over here on this side. And so going along, it's very much a symmetrical pattern, but when you turn that corner, you have to watch that pattern because the counting is not the same. Of course, it wouldn't be the same, so. Very happy with this, and I've worked on the flowers. I don't know if that's a flower in a pot, or it is. Yeah, it's a flower in a pot, flowers in a pot. And the border. And last time I told you, I heard somebody say, and I think I said Instagram, but it was Flosstube. And I remember who it is now. It's Shelly from Whips and Sips. She and Justine record Whips and Sips at Welcome Stitchery in Blue Earth, Minnesota. And she is working on Red Deer Sampler, and she said, do not leave the border until last. And I'm following that admonition there. I don't want to be sad. And it's going along pretty well because the green is very much a pattern, and then the flowers are a pattern, except the little confettis that go inside. Sometimes they're arranged a little differently, but anyway, it's going well. Froggy has not come to see me. Don't tell. Okay, so that was Red Deer. Had a couple days on that. And then my focus piece is Quaker Halloween. And again, this is one I whined about last time. Sorry. But all's good. It's all fixed. All's good. So I won't whine today. Something I can use for backing. Let me use this. This is from Lila Studio. I'm stitching it on 40 count Tornado from Fox and Rabbit. Using a combination of DMCs and Classic Colorworks. I fixed, okay, these two lines I had to take out to fix for the spacing between because the witch spans both lines and I had an extra row between the words. I haven't put the spider web in here yet, but I know my circle is symmetrical, so it'll work. And I've started on these, the skeletons in this. Is that a cartouche? I don't know if they call it cartouche in Quaker, but anyway, in that one. So making more progress, but that has not gotten its 7 days yet, and I owe it more days, so I will be going back to it. And as you know, sick of hearing, but you can take a drink. My oldest whip is always my focus piece, and I give it 7 days in a month, at least 7 days in a month, and it remains my focus piece until it is finished. And that system has really served me well. I do not have items languishing and getting forgotten and pushed aside, and I just keep plugging away at those whips because I started them because I love them and I want to finish them. So it works for me. If it works for you, great. If your other system works, have at it. Okay, that was Quaker Halloween. Then I had the day with no stitching. Then I started Forget Me Not. This is the project I'm doing that's going to be finished on the wooden box, and it's going to commemorate 6 generations in my maternal line, and that line ends with my daughter because she had sons. So I've just started this, and I'm using this hardwick hoop, very small, which is nice. It sits in my hand. I can easily hold it with my thumb and do my stitching. Now the thing about stitching this project is it is so important that the fabric does not get distorted, that it has to be done with a poke and stab method, up and down, not scooping. And that's hard for me. My first tendency, my first choice when I pick up a project is I want to stitch it in hand and I do sewing method. But if the fabric is big or something, I put it on a scroll rod if it's really big, or I have Q-snaps, not my favorite, but I have Q-snaps and I have hoop. I have round hoop and I have Nerge rectangular hoop. So I'm using this hoop, but I have to keep reminding myself not to do the sewing method because I will distort the fabric and it won't work. It won't fit on the box if it gets distorted. So after all that talk, this is the piece I've cut for the top, and this is the beginning of the first motif. And there are 2 large ones that go the width of the top. So on the pattern, this is Forget Me Not from Modern Folk Embroidery. And I downloaded the PDF. These are the 2 motifs that are at the top of the lid of the box. And then as I go through, I'm going to have to do adjusting on some of the smaller motifs she put in to fill space because I have specific initials I'm putting in each spot, and I'm putting specific years. I'm figuring out how I'm going to do the years. Will I do 4 digits or will I do just 2? But since it's 6 generations and it's going back, I'm thinking I better do 4, just a birth year. Anyway, I have a lot of things to work out, but I'm going to get these main motifs stitched, And this is going to be the cover. And my daughter's going to be featured on the cover. I'm debating, because there are only 5 sides that are going to be stitched. Of course, the bottom isn't stitched. So I'm thinking the back will be me, because I want to do, you know, stitched by me in, you know, 2023 or whatever. And then I have my grandmother, my mother, and my great-grandmother for the other sides. And somebody's going to have to share, and I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. And so I have lots of thinking and planning to do with this other than the stitching, but I feel good that I got started, figured out the size to cut this piece, because my fabric is huge, and I can't deal with all that at the same time, especially with just this little tiny hoop, and I have, so I did careful measure, make sure before you cut, and I did cut. So this is very workable. So I have a start. I'm happy to have a start, but this is going to be a long project, I can tell. And when I have the John James needle, the beading needle, the number 10, it says it's a ball point. It's sharp. I'm not sure that it's ball point, but that doesn't matter to me. It's the size of the needle, I guess, that's the important thing. And it's comfortable in my hand, so I'm happy to have it. So, but it does say ball point needle, but I don't think it really is a ball point needle. Okay, so that is Forget-Me-Not. I have to get this back in here so I don't mess it up. Okay. Okay, and that's my stitching. I touched everything but not the red sampler. So it was great 2 weeks. I feel like I got a lot done. Getting Jane Hopkins straightened out made me feel much better. And then getting Quaker Halloween fixed made me feel much better. And then I was ready to start Forget-Me-Not. So I had 3 starts. I did the start on the Next Door, the small, a start on the Mason Jar lineup, and a start on Forget-Me-Not. Woo! Wild times. Okay, so that was that. Okay, I have some haul. First thing I have to show is Birds of a Feather by Blackbird Designs. You've seen this. This is a re-release by Blackbird Designs. I did a pre-order on this with Kitten Stitcher. I love those flowers that look like lollipops. And I don't remember if it was Carol Saltbox Stitcher who showed her finished project, or if it was Brenda and the Serial Starter Brenda who showed hers, but I just love it. Can't wait to start that. And besides, you know, we have to buy all the blackbirds. Okay, now where am I going to start this? And as long as I was ordering that from Kitten Stitcher, I ordered the threads needed to do Bluebirds of Happiness from JBW. I showed that last time. That was my haul last time. And once I got it, then I knew what threads I needed. So I got my threads. There's Bluebirds of Happiness. The Bluebird of Happiness, singular. No, Bluebirds, plural. From JBW Designs. I've got the threads. And I have the fabric. I ordered that from Keepsakes. This is an exclusive from Keepsakes, I think for a year. So if you want to order it from Keepsakes Designs. So she is now all kitted up in a bag, ready to go in my bird bag, one of my bird bags. So Bluebirds of Happiness is kitted and in my sampler basket. That's that part of my haul. And then I had tried to be so, you know, not getting a lot, but I had missed a blackbird. I can't have that. You have to get all the blackbirds. So I also got from a different outlet, United We Stand, lovely patriotic pieces. I especially like this on the back. I really like that one. So more patriotic to work on. I love that. So I have those 2 blackbirds. And another JBW Designs, Eliza's Sewing Smalls. Is that what it is? Yeah, Sewing Smalls. So beautiful. So beautiful. I can't show you the other pictures because their charts are right by them. So, but beautiful. And I also ordered Eliza's French Birds, but it's back ordered, so it'll come along sometime. But Judy, beautiful, beautiful. So I have Bluebirds and I have Eliza's Smalls, and I will have Eliza's French Birds from JBW. And then as long as I was ordering, I also got a tacky bill because I have some beading stuff to do, and you know, you have to have a tacky bill or your beads go all over the place. So these used to be called tacky bobs, but now they're called tacky bills. I don't know. Maybe it's Bob's brother, I don't know. Anyway, so that is my haul. That was my haul. Let me see. Okay, and my plans are going to be to continue my rotation. I have to go back through because nothing got its entire allotment of days, so I will be finishing out the month, going back to those projects and working on them the number of days that I require of myself. And I have a couple more shout outs. This first one I'm going to say, I saw her first video, and I saw it after I did my last video 2 weeks ago. This morning I saw her video number 2, and she's at over 2,000 subscribers. So you have to jump on over here. I'm telling you, she ticked all the boxes for me when I saw her first one, and now her second one is out, and I'm just telling you, and she's over 2,000. Her name is Lisa, and her Flosstube channel is Lost in Stitches. She's located in Canada. Great personality, beautiful stitching, and she has gotten popular so fast. You have to know, I mean, I'm not wrong. So you need to jump over there and check out Lisa, Lost in Stitches. The second one I want to tell you about is so darn cute. I told you, I think we really have to encourage young stitchers to, you know, keep our community going and our craft that we love and so forth. I came across Stitching with My Littlie, Littlie. It's a mother-daughter team from the UK. They say they're near the Welsh border. Kayla is the mother and Lauren is the daughter, and I'm sure they said she was 13 years old. Very good camera presence. She knows the whole Flosstube jargon, and she knows how to do this stuff, and she shows her stitching, and her mom shows her stitching. They've even gotten the father interested in stitching, and they showed a piece of his stitching. Now, he hasn't had his face on the video yet, but his stitching has been on the video. But just so cute. It's just watching Lauren and hearing Lauren is worth the price of the ticket for that, I'll tell you. So sweet. And so stop over there and give her some good shout outs for her great presence on Flosstube. I'm very impressed with Lauren. So I hope they get some more subscribers too. Okay, well, that's it for me. That was a great 2 weeks for me, and I will be back in 2 more weeks. Take care, get to all your stitching, and have fun, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye, Flosstube.